Hello everyone, welcome back. I want to show you some new targets I got in today from MGM. Steel auto poppers. I mean, obviously I've had them before, so I know I like them. I like the style. So I wanted to get some more. And I found this company MGM. I don't know how they popped up, if I was Googling or if they came up as recommended. Yeah, $75 each. I bought 4 of them. So the 4 of them were $300, which included shipping. Okay, so I thought that was a pretty good deal. Now, if you guys look here, I hang them upside down. The reason why I hang them upside down is when they get shot, right? They deflect. The bullets deflect downwards, right? So I hang them upside down, and then what I do is on the back side, okay, what I do is I run a stake over here through the back. There's a hole over here, right? So I run these stakes. That keeps it from falling out. Okay. So that's how I set this up. I get a lot of good use out of this. So it's a really good, inexpensive setup with the bullets deflecting down. Okay, I mean, now if with these hexagonal ones, right, they're 7 inches across at the widest point. So if you stake them on the ground, right, basically if you put them on the ground, you have to stake them in because they're 7 inches wider. They do, I know from my experience with these guys over here on this side, they're gonna wanna fall over. Okay, so if you put them in the ground, you gotta stake them in. But you know, and obviously with that, the bullets kind of popping up. I mean, they don't go too far; they more or less pop straight up. Now, these are what we call rifle rated. However, if you're shooting them with a rifle like .223, you can see on this older one here, you can see how it's got all sorts of dinks, chips along the edge, right? Like over here, you see the chips. So they are consumable, right? You see there's a crack over here. You see how it cracked, right? So if you're shooting these with .223, they're consumable. They're gonna wear out. If you're shooting these with pistol calibers, you're gonna get many years of use out of these. If we come back here, see on the right over here, the hexagonal one is one of the new ones I got in today. On the left, I have these pistol targets. These are like 10 years old. Okay, the only thing that's broken on these is these bolts. I've had to replace the bolts. Now, when you get the bolts, they are hardened bolts, but eventually, I mean, you're gonna hit them enough times that the bolts are gonna break. If you can get hardened ones to replace them, that's better. I usually just get whatever I find at the hardware store. You get less life out of them, but you know, they work for a while. I prefer the hexagonal design because, like I said, it's a little bit wider, 7 inches at the widest point, versus this style over here, which is pretty much like 3 inches. It's 2 inches, 3 inches, and maybe 4 inches at the widest point. What I find is when I'm training people on pistol, new shooters have a really hard time hitting the skinnier ones, and sometimes they might get frustrated. But with the wider ones, the 7-inch ones, they enjoy shooting those better. So they're small enough, right, at 7 inches that like it's challenging, where they gotta actually, like, you know, they gotta be aiming in order to hit them. But they're, you know, so they're big enough to hit, but small enough that it's still somewhat challenging. You know, you can always push it a little further back. I mean, at this point right here, these are about 60 feet back. The other ones over here are about 30 feet back. Over here, these are about 30 feet back. All right, here's the other one. Like I said, I got a total of 4 of them. So here on the left, you can see one of the new ones I got in today. On the right, you see the older one. And here's a good example. You see over here how that got hit with a .223 at some point, and how that chipped, and I had to kind of bend this out. Now, what happens sometimes if I'm doing a class where I got lots of people, they're paying a bunch of money, you know, it's just more convenient for me to use these targets knowing that, yeah, they're going to be destroyed, but, you know, I'm able to rotate people a lot faster, and basically, you know, time is money. What I'll do is I'll use these targets. And I always use these same ones that you see over here. You know, so I'm always using like the old ones, like these new ones over here. I won't shoot these with .223. I'm only going to shoot these with pistol calibers. And what I do is I got a 9mm AR style rifle that allows me to do a lot of my AR work. So that's a really good you know, way to train. Also, really important, something worth mentioning. When you get this, right, here, you get the 2 halves come separate, right? So you got the base up here, right? It comes separate from the plate, right? They give it to you in a box full of like this popcorn styrofoam that gets all over the place and will make you curse, like I was cursing when it got all over the place. But I understand why they got ship it that way. But you got these two parts inside your box full of styrofoam popcorn, and you gotta, you know, they give you the bolt. You gotta combine it here, right? So what's important is that when you put this bolt over here, when you put your nut, you just wanna, you know, basically just put it right to the edge. Put your nut right to the edge of the bolt. Don't go past it. You don't want the threads exposed on this side, because what will happen is if the threads are exposed on this side, sooner or later they're gonna get hit with a bullet, and they're gonna get all bent out of shape, and you're not gonna be able to get it off, or it'll be really hard. Because sooner or later, you get these bolts over here are gonna need to be, they're gonna break, they're gonna need to be replaced, and in order to do that, you gotta get this off. So you don't want the threads on the end here getting all hit and stripped and, you know, and beat up. So you put this right to the edge the way I have it, and it's all right if this thing goes back and forth, right, the way it does. That's not an issue, right? So that's how you want to set that up. All right, so I'm gonna back it up, and I'm gonna do a little shooting on these targets. I already shot these a bunch of times today. I already know that I like them a lot. I bought 4, like I said, $300 shipped from MGM targets. I plan to buy another 4. All right, just after one day of shooting, I'm like, yeah, I really like these. So let me back up a little bit, put a couple of rounds on these things. So the PCC pistol caliber carbine. This is a Palmetto PX9. So basically, it's a 9mm rifle. Takes Glock mags. Really great for shooting these type of targets because you're not going to damage the targets. You can get, you know, probably decades of use out of them. So this is a great rifle, 9mm rifles for shooting these targets. And you could do like 99% of the stuff that you would be doing with an AR-15. You could do with a rifle like this. And also, because it's 9mm, it's going a little bit slower. I find that I can shoot it a little bit closer, okay? Actually, before I even start shooting it, I'm going to change my glasses. I almost forgot to change my glasses. Hold on for a second. Okay, so I got my shooting glasses on. So nice thing is I'm at about, I don't know, 30 feet over here using 9mm, and you can do AR drills. If I was using 223, I would not be shooting steel this close because you're going to get little pieces of metal all over your face. Okay, so let's do a couple of exercises here. So good stuff, fun stuff, great targets, you know, especially if you match it up to the right ammo. Shoot it with 9mm ARs, 9mm pistols. You get lots of fun with this. So again, these targets are from MGM targets. I paid $300 with the shipping. I thought it was a pretty good deal, so that's why I'm sharing it with you guys watching my channel. And I bought 4. I'm planning to buy another 4. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.